Hello, this is Hurricane Lucas 4064, and today we are going to talk about the thoughts on the Hurricane and Typhoon committees. The Typhoon committee lasted from Tuesday, February 26th until Friday, March 1st, and then the Hurricane committee is going to last from March 18th till March 22nd. So, without further ado, let's get started. So, the replacements for the 2017 Typhoons are out. By the way, if you didn't know, they retired Hato, Kaitok, and Tembin. Hato was a Category 3 storm, mostly known for rapidly intensifying and making landfall in China. It caused $6.4 billion in damages and killed 24 people. One of the costliest Pacific typhoons on record. I believe it was only supposed to make landfall in China as a Category 1 storm, but it rapidly intensified in the South China Sea and made a strong landfall there. In the Philippines, it was known as Isang, but it did not make a direct landfall in the Philippines. They were impacted, the island of Luzon was, but China got the worst of the storm. That was the strongest storm that was retired. Next is Tropical Storm Kaitok in the Philippines, known as Urduja. It caused $74.3 million in damages and killed 83 people. It dumped a lot of rain over the Philippines. That's mainly what it did. It caused lots of flooding there and really impacted the Philippines badly. That's why a tropical storm was retired, because it did such horrible impacts in the central and southern Philippines. Next was Tembin. It was a Category 2 storm, originally Category 1, but upgraded to Category 2 in post-analysis. It also impacted the Philippines. It was known as Vinta there. It caused $42 million in damages and killed 266 people. It added on to the rainfall from Kaitok and really made conditions horrible for the people that lived there. So it was a really bad storm, bad duo of storms to end out the 2017 season. Tembin then intensified into a typhoon in the South China Sea before making a weaker landfall in southern Vietnam. Now, let's get to the actual replacements. They are, so for Hato, it was replaced with Yamaneko, which means wildcat. Kaitok was replaced with Yunyung, which means duck. And Tembin was replaced with Koinu, which means puppy. Alright, so they also retired the 2018 storms. So they retired Tropical Storm Rumbia and Super Typhoon Mangkhut. So Rumbia was a storm not many people know about, but surely where it was impacted, it really was known about there. It caused $5.36 billion in damages. For a tropical storm, that is a lot. Almost like an Allison type storm. It didn't hover around there for days though. It was kind of quick hitting, but it dumped a lot of rain there, and it also killed 53 people. Yeah, the rain in China was really bad with this storm. Yeah, it was really bad in that area. So next up was Mangkhut. Caused $3.74 billion in damages and killed 134 people. It was mostly known for its impact in the Philippines. It was known as Ompong there. And yeah, it was a really strong typhoon. Lasted for a long time at Category 5 intensity. It even made landfall in the Philippines as a Category 5 storm. But then it moved into the Philippines and then made landfall in China as a weaker storm. But the big impacts were in the Philippines, and that's why the Philippines requested Mangkhut to retire, and China requested Rumbia to retire. So what I think deserved retirement, Jebi and U2. U2 I'm a little bit controversial on, but Jetty really did deserve to be retired. Why? Because it caused $3.29 billion in damages. That's a lot of money to not be retired. That's just really weird. And then 17 people were killed. It impacted Japan, and it was the strongest storm to strike Japan since Typhoon Yancy in 1993. But the damage in Japan must have been really bad, and I'm kind of surprised it wasn't retired, honestly. U2, I'm a bit controversial on. Sure, it was a really strong typhoon that made landfall in, I believe, Saipan is the island it made landfall. Tell me if I'm wrong in the comments. But it caused $198 million in damages and 30 people were killed. But it made a really bad landfall on one of the islands in the Mariana Islands. And it also made a pretty strong landfall in the Philippines, Category 2 landfall there. I know U2's Philippine name was retired, but I don't know why U2 was retired because it was a pretty bad storm too, so we'll see. I feel like U2 and Jebi should have been retired, definitely Jebi, but yeah. Now the 2017 Pagasa names have finally been replaced. It's been a long time since people have known about it. So Urduja and Vinta were retired for Kaitak and Urduja. Kaitak and Tembin rather. But we already know how many people they killed, but there are certain requirements for getting a Philippine name retired. You have to cause $1 billion in Philippine pesos, and you have to kill at least 200 people. Urduja caused $3.747 billion in Philippine pesos, and Vinta caused 2.1 billion pesos. So they were replaced with Uwan and Verbi for the 2021 season. The 2018 Pagasa names have also been replaced. Ampong for Mangkut, Rosita for U2, and Usman for Tropical Depression 35W. So, Ampong caused $33.9 billion in Philippine pesos and killed 134 people. Rosita caused 2.5 billion pesos and killed 30 people. And Usman caused $5.41 billion in damages and killed 156 people. Pretty bad storm for even a tropical depression. A lot of rain there too. It was almost named Pabuk, and I wonder if it was named Pabuk would have been retired, but that became something else. But the replacements are for Ampong, Obey, Rosita, Rosal. Not a really good replacement there, because they're very similar names. And Usman is now Umberto. So what I think deserved retirement, Josie, I don't know why it wasn't retired. It was clearly overlooked, I think, because it caused 4.66 billion in Philippine pesos. It dumped a lot of rain in Luzon, and I don't know why it wasn't retired. I believe it should have been retired, but for some reason it wasn't. And it killed 16 people. Carding is just under the requirements for retiring a Philippine name, but I just put it on here anyways. It could have been retired. It cost 996 million in Philippine pesos and 8 people were killed. Carding was from Typhoon or Tropical Storm Yaji. Now, the Hurricane Committee is from March 18th to 22nd, as I said at the beginning of the video. And I think they will retire from the Atlantic Florence and Michael, and from the East Pacific Lane and Will. Yes, I think Michael was a Category 5 hurricane when it made landfall in Florida. Now, Florence caused $24 billion in damages and killed 57 people. Yeah, that's deserving of retirement. It caused a lot of damage, killed a lot of people in the Carolinas, Michael cost $25.1 billion in damages. I believe it's the 10th costliest Atlantic hurricane on record, and Florence at 11. Michael killed 72 people. That's a lot. And yeah, it definitely deserves retirement. Lane, it dumped a lot of rain in Hawaii. It caused a new record for rainfall in Hawaii, 52.02 inches, just beating Hurricane Hiki of 1950 by 0.02 inches. It's the second rainiest storm in United States history behind Harvey. But Lane caused $250 million in damages and killed one person in Hawaii. Willa was a storm that greatly impacted Mexico and caused quite a bit of damage there, $537 million in damages, and killed 6 people. Sure, they're not as bad as damage goes and deaths goes for the Atlantic storms, but for a Pacific storm, that's worthy of retirement, I believe. So, if Patricia was retired for its strength and it didn't have billions of dollars in damages and didn't kill a ton of people, then probably Lane and Willa will be retired for their impacts. Alright, that concludes the video. I hope you enjoyed and you have a wonderful day or your rest of the day. Goodbye!